On. Let's
All
do
right.
this.
All right. All right. It's Friday. And you know what that means, everybody? That means it's weeks in with the Rab and Graeme knows things. What do you know, Graeme? As my grandfather used to say, what do you know good?
Weeks in, baby. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I am out of this world with happiness.
Cool. Well, tell me, how's your week been?
My week has been rather interesting. I mean, let's see. I had some meetings. I did a little bit of work. Did some stuff around the house. Got to hang out and do a moderated Q&A with legendary flight director from NASA, Gene Kranz. Had a couple of what? What was that last
Wait,
part?
I'm gonna hit pause right on that one. So there's this guy named Gene who apparently was a big deal.
He's my best friend, by the way.
Still is a big deal, I'd say. I'd argue.
I would.
Because of a little-known project called Apollo.
Yes.
But not only that, fighter pilot.
Yes.
Which when you were doing your Q&A with Gene, I was geeking out over all the memorabilia, all the models, all the photography he had in his office.
Next to him?
The Sabre, yes, because I was a huge, and still am, a jet fighter kind of geek guy. I wanted to be a fighter pilot growing up. My 10th grade history teacher, her son was a Tomcat pilot that flew off of aircraft carriers, just like Mr. Tom Cruise, and that's what I wanted to be. And the Sabre was one of the first jets that I actually built a model of when I was a kid.
Ryan, you can be my wingman anytime.
Nice. We just have to argue over who's goose or if we're doing a whole Maverick Iceman thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big Val Kilmer fan, so I can be Iceman. I just did the thing.
Yeah. I have to practice that because I look a little goofy. All right. Yeah. So tell me about that Q&A with Gene was surreal.
It was. It was crazy. So for those of you who are watching who have no idea what the two of us are geeking out about, as part of our jobs, which I assure you we do have jobs, we did an event this week, a virtual event with IBM called the Academies, which if you want to see it, you can go to ibm.co/academies. And Gene Kranz did a keynote. He did a keynote about Apollo 13. And then afterwards, I got to moderate a Q&A with Gene. So it was just the two of us talking, and I was taking questions from the audience. But it was more than that. I mean, I've been working with him now for, about a month or so and just getting to know him. And it was just really cool. And, he did all the things you think he's going to do, right? Like failure is not an option. And, he's very, very, very Gene Kranz, just like he is. For those of you that don't know him, you may have seen him. He was portrayed by Ed Harris in the 1995 Ron Howard spectacular Apollo 13. And it was just, it was really cool. So we had a lot of fun. He was inspirational and motivating. And afterwards, when I told him, I realized it was the last time I'd ever talked to him, I started crying. Totally normal emotions for a man. And we just had a great conversation. It was a chance of a lifetime. And
yeah, so many great quotes and takeaways.
I encourage you all to go see it.
So many great takeaways. Just the Q&A was really awesome. The if you go to my Twitter at the Rab, I did like a kind of live tweet session of a lot of those quotes and takeaways and stuff. And I think you and I are going to collaborate on a blog post to sort of summarize all that stuff here in the coming week or two.
Yep. So and we're also working with another guy named Robert Barron, who's an IBMer at Flying Baron, BARR. Forget off the top of my head. But anyway, great guy, really intense knowledge. And between him and another guy named Max Campbell, who is our resident space historian for IBM at the IBM Corporate Archives, those two were just masterful in getting me ready to not come across like a bumbling fool, right? And I mean, when one interviews one's childhood hero, one must be ready to do so. And I felt like I was. So it was really cool. Anyway, go check it out. Go check it out.
So I've got a nice segue here.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Since we're name dropping.
Yes, let's.
I just so happen to have a little, if you want to talk about Kevin Bacon degrees of separation, you've got from Gene to Mr. Harris, who portrayed him in the film. And then I got my BFF right here.
You and Ron Howard.
Me and Ron, we go way back.
Wow. And
I
believe
had the
you were in the room
opportunity.
when I got this done, remember?
Oh, nice. Yes. I met Ron Howard. He was a guest speaker at one of our IBM conferences back in
That's
the
right.
day.
He was at Think.
And I got the chance to meet him backstage and have a quick little chat. And here's your headshot. Move along. We'll give your phone back.
Remember conferences?
Fun. You remember conferences? Yeah.
Wow. Remember
Back
going
in the
places
day.
with people? Wow.
Sweaty long days of walking all
Yes.
across Las Vegas.
Having the sushi.
Having the sushi. That's what I miss most.
I know. I miss my sushi.
So,
what's next?
Let's talk about. I don't know. The agenda's out the door today. Let's talk about, since we're talking about artifacts.
Okay.
And memorabilia. I got something to show you. We're going to do our first. It's not quite a toy, but our first toy intermission of the show.
I love it.
I found a relic that
holy moly. Dude, I had the same one growing up. Is that like legit, or did you just buy that? Was that from when you were?
This was my Christmas present when I was in 9th grade.
Oh my!
It is the official
find
Panasonic FM stereo radio cassette recorder.
I could feel it.
Oh my gosh! And it still works like a champ. Like Panasonic,
dude, that's the coolest.
Panasonic is no joke. Like
wow.
this
All right, let's get a little retro tech close up on that. Can you hold that up to the camera? Let's let the people see. That's what they really want to see. Look at the speakers. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. I bet that sucker doesn't need any tapes. I bet it's quality.
Heck no. So here's the thing. Like I got to figure out how to take this phono jack and like use it in a digital realm, because I'm telling you what, all the Bluetooth speakers that the kids buy these days are complete junk.
I'm giving that a 6.0 on my awesome meter right there. There you go. That was it.
Excellent. So what do you got? You got anything you want to talk about? Something?
Let's see. Let me just look around. Let's see. What in this office would I want to show off and bright? I'm going to have to go.
Come on now. Take the camera with you. Let's go see.
Disconnect the camera for a second. And oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Dude. Look at the beauty that is my Star Wars arcade 1-up with
oh my gosh
stool. I can't really get a good camera. I've got the custom riser down there in the bottom. And when you play this thing, dude, it's legit. Like I am back at the Dream Machine in the Hadley, Massachusetts arcade in the mid to late 80s, maybe a little later. And I am dumping $1 million quarters into this thing, and I'm absolutely happy. And let me tell you one of the things that I realized that I love about this game so much. Besides the fact that Arcade 1-Up produce a gorgeous product. This thing is heavy duty, super easy to assemble. I did it with my son, which was an obviously awesome bonding moment. The quality is excellent. It's so much fun to play it. It's very realistic to the original, but I realized something about the game. It's really, really easy from like the first level to just blow up the Death Star. I mean, it's like 60 seconds in, you've blown up the Death Star. And I realized that this game, unlike a lot of other games of that era, you feel like you've accomplished something really, really quickly. And I gotta be honest with you, with ADHD and some of the stuff that I got going on, video games were really tough for me when I was a kid to just sit there and stay focused forever. But this one, it's like quick level, you've accomplished it. You just blew up this, blew up that. And I would keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is the machine that I played when I was a kid, I ended up discovering, I don't know if it was the exact actual machine, but the exact same thing. Remember they had a Star Wars sit-down cabinet, right? It was like the cockpit where you were inside. So I found that machine at the American Classics Arcade Museum a couple of years ago up in Laconia. Again, anybody in New England, if you're watching this and you love video games, you got to go to the American Classics Arcade Museum when it reopens. They have like 400 of the original machines, pinball. These people are like, it's like the Graceland of the Smithsonian of video games, right? So I go there and I'm like, I wonder if they'll have a Star Wars cabinet. And I go in, not cabinet, cockpit, and there it was. And I sat down.
Oh, and there was a party.
I'm going to be honest about being in touch with my emotions. I started crying again, and I was playing, and I was like, this is so wonderful. My son's like, oh my God, you're such a nerd. And it was wonderful. And now we've been reunited in my own home. Thank you, Arcade 1-Up. You guys are incredible.
Shout out.
2
snaps up in a Z formation.
2 snaps.
All right.
So it's not like, I mean, it's not like I want to play it right now or anything. It's not like I'm over here. right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, you could with your new fancy gamer headset that you're wearing.
I
You can
know.
go anywhere.
I know. Product bragging. I can go anywhere now. I was tied like a chain to my desktop, like you are, with that red cable from that thing. But I went and got the Astro Gaming A20. By the way, recommended by my son, my other son. I got a 16 and a 14-year-old. 14-year-old got an A50, I think. Recommended the A20. Now I'm free. I'm free to move. I
Free
sound good.
to
I can
do what
sit
you
anywhere.
want any old time. All right, that
Yeah,
was your music and a
love it.
load, folks.
I love it.
Be
I
sure
love
to
it.
tip your bartender.
But let's be honest here, Ryan. Arcade One Up is cool.
Yep.
A20s are cool.
Yep.
But I'm spying with
You see
my
anything in the
little
shelf back
eye.
here you like? Anything different from last week?
Yes, and I think you know what it is.
We're
And I
just
think
gonna
the
spend this
world
whole
loves
show
him.
on merch, folks.
Show the merch. Come on.
Show the
You
merch.
know we all want to see the child. Give us the child. Give
Bum,
us the
bum,
child.
bum, 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 bum. Okay, ladies and gents, this is the moment you've been waiting for.
I just want to give him hugs.
Yes, the Mandalorian. I don't know if you know about this little show called The Mandalorian, but
What?
it's
Never heard of it.
quite
Don't know anything about it.
it's quite the spectacle. Really great show, and there's something called La Affant, or the child, as known in our common tongue. But this guy is freaking, I don't know, incredible, right? So
Wow.
everybody was asking me when I've been
He's so
taking
big.
I've been taking these goofy pictures with him all week. Everybody's been asking me, "Are you keeping him in the package?" Hell no. If you listen to the last show, you know that Graeme and I are not big fans of leaving things in the package, because this
No,
guy is going with me everywhere. He's my new co-pilot, and I think
I love
R2D2
it.
is going to get really jealous. So we'll see.
So when the world gets back to whatever it gets back to, and we're able to start traveling to shows again, you got to bring him, and then we and we got to take pictures of him wherever we go,
Oh heck
and
yeah!
like have the sush with him.
I don't know if you saw last
Child
night,
eat sushi?
but there was a bit of an incident after midnight last night. If everyone
Yes,
jumps over to my Twitter feed, there's a
I saw
couple of
that.
photos. And I don't know if you know about the child. You know he likes the chachi milk and he likes the chicky nuggies. And there was an incident last night where
There was.
these guys
You
are
got to see it.
multiplying Gremlin style.
You got to see it. Go. Wait, no, it's the other hand. Go to the rab.
Hang
You
on.
can see it over there. Go
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Let me reach. There
All
we
right,
go.
I'm
Right
gonna
over there.
try my typing skills.
Ooh, you're trying to type? Ooh, is this in the live comments?
Typing. Hang on.
Love
I'm
that.
gonna bring it up. All right,
Now,
we have the technology here, folks.
we do. We have the power.
We're going to bum bum bum. We're going to share an application. Oh! Look at this! I can do a Chrome tab.
What?
Look at that!
Oh,
Look at that! All right, I got a Chrome tab here.
Night mode,
Now
bro?
check this out. I'm scrolling. We're scrolling. There's last week's episode. There's this week's episode. There's shameless plug for this week's program.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people!
Oh, look at the child.
Now, this is a shameless plug for my son's favorite place to get takeout here in town during these trying times. We're giving a lot of love to the Cookout. I don't know if you guys have the Cookout up north, but down here, milkshakes, burgers. He likes the chicky nuggies just like the child. And yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
So you can tell this is going to get out of control quickly with the photography, but you know, it's just too much fun.
It's just too much fun. You gotta have some fun, bro.
Fun. All right.
I love how there's two of them. So let's see what else we got on the docket. Oh, I know what we were going to talk about was something that would never be of any interest to me. I mean, I would have no interest in it, but apparently Playmobil kids toys are coming out with a DeLorean playset that has the DeLorean and Doc Brown and Marty McFly, and it's even got a little plutonium case. And I mean, look, I saw it. I'm not interested in it.
Why would you?
It's not like I think it's the coolest thing, ever.
Really, I mean, it's cool to look at, but what you gonna do?
It's cool to look at, but I mean, I wouldn't really have any interest in something like that. I mean, would I? Why would I have any interest in something like that? So apparently, so yeah, that
So has it
I
arrived?
couldn't
Is it
have clicked any
is it
faster on
something
that
that's
than I did. I was
coming?
like,
Is it something that's coming like right now, or is it something that's coming down the road
next week.
next week? All right.
So
Well,
you'll have to brag about your
we'll
Lego.
do an unboxing kind of comparison study of. I've got the dock in the DeLorean Lego style, so we'll see.
Oh, by the way, after that really annoying musical interlude, if you didn't see Josh Gad's reunited apart episode with the Back to the Future cast, oh my God, you've got the Goonies one was amazing. Episode 2 with the Back to the Future cast was like a lot of this. It's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. You got to see it. You got to see it.
So I'm noticing an interesting trend here. Like, there's obviously a lot of what like people call quarantunes, quarantine from the kitchen, live from home. Scott Avett likes to call it empty living room concerts. So there's lots of music going on, which I want to talk about in a moment. But I'm noticing another trend with it's not really, I wouldn't call it rehashing, right? Because it's original content, but it's bringing back some of these favorite movies, favorite TV shows, making them interactive like they weren't before. And I feel like it's harkening back to a time. Like, I feel like they did a lot of these things, reunion shows on TV, or we talked about last week the kind of like how the extras on the DVDs are a lot better than they are now, like on Blu-ray or video on demand. But now you're seeing all of this awesome content being streamed because of the situation we're in, and they're kind of in a way throwing caution to the wind and just saying, hey, let's get together and do a table read, or hey, let's get together
and it's so natural. It's so casual. It's so cool.
It's really
like,
interesting.
And you learn new things. It's not the same old. It's like it's mind blowing, and they all look so fantastic. It's crazy.
Not only that, but I'm finding that it's reaching it's not a saturation point, but there's so much cool stuff coming out like this that you kind of have to pick and choose. Like, it's not, beyond your Netflix queue. There's all this cool live content that's honestly hard to keep track of. Like, I've been watching a lot with music. I wanted to touch on, because there's a good cause behind it, I wanted to touch on, there was a live stream concert last night that the Atlanta Braves hosted on their Facebook.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Now,
that's one of them sports teams, right?
One of the sports ball teams, yeah. And they're not playing right now, but they have a huge audience, right? So what did they do? They asked a couple boys from Concord, North Carolina to get on the line and pull out them.
Who that was?
Your boys, Scott and Seth Avett. So they played a little stripped down acoustic set, but it was all what I noticed was there were many concerts happening last night. There were a lot of different concerts, and they were all in their own way. Instead of having like the Together, what was it? The Together Unite, the United
Reunited Apart.
The United Apart, yeah, the United thing that was like a big, almost like a telethon format. That happened like 2-3 weeks ago. This one was more of like, choose your own person you like, watch their whole show. They did a whole hour.
Wow.
And then they're driving towards an organization called Music Cares. So if you go to like Twitter or Instagram, it's like Music Cares, but only one C. And all of the money they're raising is to help people who are not working right now in the music industry. So think about the crew. Think about transportation, think about the roadies, think about everyone who, the artists might be fine sitting in their kitchen playing for tips like they did when they first started, but the crew's sitting at home with nothing to do. So this organization is really trying to help those families where they don't have, the situation on the ground obviously has changed in the music industry.
I love that.
So check out the Braves.
Check out the so let's make sure we tweet out a link to that. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I've been watching a really weird show that I like. I don't know if it's new or if it's old or what the deal is, but it's called Tales from the Loop.
Okay.
Tales from the Loop. It's on Amazon Prime. Highly recommend it. Very, very strange. It's kind of like Stranger Things meets Ed 209 from RoboCop. That's not the right description. But for those of you that have seen it, you'll understand because there's kind of a robot walks around. Anyway, really good series. I've only seen 2 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
And in my typical fashion, I only slept through half of one of them, but you got to check it out. There it is. Really, really good. Yep. You're going to, oh yeah. It's inspired by the paintings of, I will not try to say that man's name, Simon. But anyway, highly recommend it. You got to check it out. Now, my bad news is I got a meeting at 3:45, so I got to go here in a minute. That's my bad news.
Bad news accepted.
But we'll get together again next Friday and we'll be reunited and it will feel so good. Sorry.
Heck yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for joining.
Fun. Yes.
Week's End, episode 2. We're going to keep them coming back at you every week. Thanks for joining. Let us know what you think in the comments. What's some cool stuff you've seen? We'd love to have some guests on the show that are as nerdy as us.
Yeah. Fellow nerds, bring your toys.
We'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
So long.
Bye-bye.